When we look at relationships, one pattern stands out, one that has puzzled many for years. Why is it that some women, despite experiencing pain and turmoil, seem to keep running back to the very men who hurt them? These men are often labeled as bad boys, the ones who appear rough around the edges, difficult to understand, or even dangerous. Yet, time and again we witness women re-entering these relationships, and this phenomenon leaves us wondering, what is it about the bad boy that women find irresistible? It's easy to dismiss this as a simple case of poor decision-making, but there's something deeper at play. The truth is, women don't just choose bad boys on a whim. There's an emotional pull, a complex web of psychological, social, and emotional factors that lead them back to the very men who have proven themselves unworthy of their love. It's as though they are caught in a cycle they can't break, even when the pain becomes too much to bear. You see, when a woman finds herself entangled with a bad boy, she isn't just falling for his charisma, his charm, or his rugged good looks. It's about something much more profound. It's about the connection she feels with him, a connection that seems to defy logic and reason. It's the emotional high that comes with the drama, the intensity, the passion that often comes with bad boy. But it's also about the vulnerability, the sense of security that she desperately craves, even if it's flawed. It's about the hope that, somehow, despite everything, this relationship could be different. Love, after all, is complicated. It's not always the fairy tale we envision, where everything is perfect, where the man treats you like a princess, and life is full of blissful moments. Real love, as we know, is messy, it's flawed, it's filled with misunderstandings, emotional ups and downs, and sometimes even heartbreak. But for some women, this messiness is what feels familiar. The highs, the lows, the intense emotions that come with being involved with a bad boy, they provide a sense of fulfillment that feels missing elsewhere. The psychology behind this can be traced to childhood. Many women who find themselves drawn to bad boys may have experienced instability or unpredictability in their early years. This could be in the form of an absent father, a neglectful parent, or a chaotic home environment. These early experiences shape the way women view relationships. They might subconsciously seek out men who recreate those emotional dynamics because, in a strange way, it feels like home. They associate love with chaos, with drama, and so, they're magnetically pulled toward it, even when they know it will only lead to more. Another reason why women run back to bad boys has to do with the thrill of the chase. The bad boy is often elusive, hard to pin down, and unpredictable. There's an excitement in this uncertainty, a rush that comes from trying to win his affection. It's this chase, this game of emotional tug-of-war, that can keep a woman hooked. When a man is difficult to read, when he's hot one minute and cold the next, it creates an emotional roller coaster that feels both terrifying and exhilarating. And as we know, people can become addicted to this kind of emotional intensity. The highs are so high that they overshadow the lows, and that makes it all the more tempting to return, time and time again. There's also a social factor to consider. Many women are conditioned to believe that they can fix a man, that their love and care can heal the bad boy, transform him into the man they want him to be. This is a narrative that society often pushes forward, the idea that love can change people. Movies, books, and even personal stories have perpetuated this idea that a woman's love can save a man, and many women buy into this. They believe that, if they just give him enough attention, enough care, enough patience, the bad boy will eventually realize his worth and change for the better. But here's the painful truth. Most bad boys don't change. The idea that you can save someone from their destructive behavior is often nothing more than a fantasy. When a woman repeatedly returns to a bad boy, she's not rescuing, she's rescuing herself from the pain of letting go, from the discomfort of facing reality. She's holding on to a hope, a dream, an illusion, that one day, things will be different. But deep down, she knows that the pattern will likely repeat itself, and yet, she goes back. Why? Part of it is because women find comfort in familiarity. Even if the relationship is toxic, it's what they know. They've invested so much emotionally that the idea of walking away seems almost impossible. The emotional investment creates a bond, one that can be difficult to break. It's easier to stay in a painful relationship, one that feels like a roller coaster, than to face the unknown of moving on. The fear of being alone, The fear of never finding someone who understands them in the same way can keep a woman tethered to the bad boy. But it's also about something deeper, something that women might not even fully recognize in themselves: the need for validation. The bad boy, in his unpredictable way, often gives just enough attention to make a woman feel wanted, needed, and desired. Even if it's fleeting, this validation is enough to pull her back in. It feeds her ego, her sense of self-worth, and that's why, even though the relationship is unhealthy, it can feel hard to leave. The pull of the bad boy is not just about attraction, it's about the emotional roller coaster that they create. For many women, that intensity becomes addictive. It's the push and pull, the contrast of good and bad, that becomes thrilling, even if it's pain. This chaotic love, this love that feels as if it could destroy them, is the very thing that keeps them coming back. It's as if they're trapped in an emotional loop, constantly searching for something they know they can never have, but unable to let go. There's also a physiological component to this. The brain, when exposed to intense emotions, releases dopamine, the feel-good hormone. This is what happens when a woman experiences those high-intensity moments with a bad boy: the drama, the thrill, the unpredictability. Dopamine is a reward system that reinforces certain behaviors, so when she feels those emotional highs, her brain associates them with pleasure, even if it's short-lived. This creates a cycle where the highs continue to lure her back, despite the low. But it's not just about emotional highs and lows, it's about the desire to feel desired. Many women feel that the bad boy, with his aloofness and toughness, is the only one who truly sees them. In his eyes they feel special, unique. This feeling of being truly seen can be intoxicating. It's as though they are the only one who can break through the bad boy's tough exterior, and this makes them feel powerful, needed, and loved. In the end, it's this complex combination of emotions, needs, and psychological factors that makes it so difficult for women to break free from the bad boy. They're caught in a web of desire, hope, and addiction, all tied together by an emotional bond that seems impossible to escape. The pull of the bad boy isn't just about love or attraction, it's about something much deeper, and understanding this complexity is key to understanding why women run back to the very men who hurt them. It becomes clear that there's more to this than just attraction or emotional high. The relationship with a bad boy often fills a need that women aren't even fully aware of. It's about a deeper craving for validation, for love, for understanding, but at the same time it's about the thrill, the excitement, and the drama that comes with being involved with someone who is so unpredictable. There's a concept called the trauma bond, and it plays a significant role in why women return to bad boys time and again. The trauma bond is a psychological response that occurs when an individual forms a bond with someone who intermittently provides affection or approval, often alongside manipulation or abuse. This inconsistency creates confusion in the mind of the woman. As she tries to make sense of the emotional push and pull, the bond can feel like a connection so strong, so deep, that it seems unbreakable. The highs of affection, love, and attention are so intense that they overshadow the lows, the moments of neglect, manipulation, or even emotional abuse. It's as if the woman is living in a constant state of anticipation, always hoping that the next moment will be one of affection or attention. But just as quickly as it comes, it fades. This cycle of emotional highs and lows, affection and neglect, is what makes the trauma bond so powerful. The science behind this is rooted in our brain chemistry. When a woman is in a toxic relationship, her brain releases dopamine, the same chemical responsible for pleasure and reward. This hormone, which is usually released in response to positive experiences, is also triggered during emotional or physical pain. In the case of a bad boy relationship, the intermittent reinforcement of affection, attention, and approval keeps her coming back for more, even if it means enduring emotional turmoil. The unpredictability of the bad boy's behavior becomes addictive. It's as though the woman is in a constant state of limbo, unable to move forward or backward. She may recognize that the relationship is damaging, but the emotional attachment, the hope that things can change, keeps her from letting go. The bad boy becomes her emotional drug, and she becomes addicted to the cycle. She craves that feeling of connection, the sense of belonging that comes with the relationship, even if it's fleeting. Another reason why women return to bad boys is rooted in their own sense of self-worth. It's often easy to blame the bad boy for the dysfunction in the relationship, but the truth is that women who repeatedly find themselves in these situations may have underlying issues related to self-esteem. Many women, especially those who have been through childhood trauma, may subconsciously believe that they are unworthy of real love. They might feel that only a man who is hard to get, who is emotionally unavailable or distant, can love them. They crave the attention of someone who is tough and indifferent, because it reinforces the belief that they must work hard for love. This dynamic creates a sense of validation. When the bad boy gives even the smallest amount of attention, it feels like a reward, like they've earned. For some women, the bad boy represents something that is missing in their lives: adventure, excitement, or even a sense of danger. This is especially true for women who feel trapped in monotonous, predictable environments. The bad boy offers a way out of the ordinary, a way to feel alive. It's a form of escapism. They can leave behind the pressures of work, family, and responsibilities when they're with him. They can momentarily forget about everything else and immerse themselves in the chaos that comes with being involved with someone so unpredictable. This sense of excitement, of living on the edge, can become all-consuming. For some women, the risk of being hurt or let down is part of the thrill. It's a gamble, and the highs make it all feel worth it. It's that roller coaster of emotions that makes them feel truly alive, even if it's at the cost of their emotional well-being. This pattern is familiar. It feels like they're always chasing that next high, that next moment of validation, only to be met with disappointment and heartbreak. Yet even after all the pain, the cycle continues. This is where the concept of hope comes in. It's not just the hope that the relationship will get better. It's the hope that the bad boy will finally recognize her worth, that he will change, and that the love they share will transcend the toxicity of the past. This hope can be powerful, so powerful that it keeps a woman tethered to the bad boy, even when she knows, deep down, that he may never change. Hope is one of the strongest emotions a person can experience. It's the belief that something better is on the horizon, that things will get better, and that love will triumph over all obstacles. It's the very thing that fuels the fantasy of saving the bad boy, even when the evidence suggests that he is not capable of change. The woman holds on to the dream. She believes that with enough time, enough love, enough effort, she can be the one to break through his tough exterior, to help him see that he is worthy of love and happiness. This fantasy is often reinforced by the occasional glimpse of tenderness or affection that the bad boy shows. These rare moments of vulnerability become more precious, more meaningful, because they are so rare. They reinforce the idea that perhaps this time will be different. The woman begins to build a narrative around these moments, convincing herself that she's not just in a toxic relationship, but one filled with potential. She tells herself that the bad boy is misunderstood, that he's been hurt in the past, and that he needs her to heal. This cycle of hope, pain, and emotional highs is incredibly difficult to break. For many women, it takes years to realize that they are trapped in a never-ending loop. The bad boy doesn't change. He doesn't suddenly become the man they hope he will. Instead, he remains the same, providing just enough affection and validation to keep the woman coming back for more. But breaking free from this cycle is possible. It requires self-awareness, self-love, and a willingness to let go of the fantasy. It's about realizing that love is not about fixing someone else, but about finding someone who can meet you where you are, someone who can love you as you deserve to be loved. It's about recognizing that your worth is not tied to someone else's approval or affection. It's about healing from the trauma bond and learning to love yourself first. From a young age, many women are socialized to believe in the idea of rescuing someone, particularly a man who is broken or troubled. This narrative is deeply embedded in our media, books, and even in our personal experience. We're taught that love is a noble pursuit, one that can transform even the most troubled individuals into something better. The idea that a woman's love can heal a man's emotional wounds is romanticized in countless films, novels, and stories. This notion of being a savior can be incredibly powerful. For a woman who has internalized this message, the bad boy becomes a project. She sees his flaws, his emotional baggage, and she feels a deep sense of empathy. She believes that through her love and care, she can be the one to change him, to make him a better person. But the danger here is that the bad boy may not want to change. He may not see himself as needing any fix. This disconnect between the woman's desire to heal and the man's refusal to change creates a tension that's difficult to resolve. This tension often leads to a cycle of disappointment. The woman keeps investing emotionally, believing that if she just gives him more of herself, if she just proves her love to him, he will eventually open up, change, and return her affection. But the bad boy often remains emotionally unavailable, distant, or even cruel. He may give her just enough affection to keep her hooked, but it's never enough to make her feel truly secure or loved in the way she deserves. This constant emotional roller coaster of affection, followed by withdrawal, of closeness followed by distance, is one of the key reasons why women find themselves running back to these toxic relations. On a deeper level, there's also an element of power and control at play in these relationships. The bad boy, with his aloofness and unpredictability, holds the power in the relationship. He dictates the terms, sets the tone, and controls the emotional dynamic. For some women, this is appealing. They may not consciously want to be in a relationship where they feel powerless, but on a deeper subconscious level, they may be drawn to the intensity of this power dynamic. The unpredictability of the bad boy's actions creates a sense of emotional tension that feels exciting, but it also leaves the woman in a constant state of uncertainty, never quite knowing where she stands. This uncertainty, this lack of control, can feel exhilarating at first. It's a thrill, a rush to feel like she's constantly on edge, always seeking to win his affection, always striving to prove her worth. But over time, this sense of excitement turns into a burden. The emotional toll becomes too great. The highs aren't high enough to make up for the emotional low. Yet because the woman has become so accustomed to this dynamic, she may struggle to break free. She's addicted to the drama, the highs, and the constant emotional challenge. Part of the allure of the bad boy also stems from his perceived confidence. Bad boys often project an image of strength, self-assuredness, and independence. They're often unapologetic about their flaws and live life on their own terms. This boldness can be incredibly attractive, especially to women who feel insecure or uncertain about their own lives. The bad boy, with his bravado, represents something that many women long for: freedom from societal norms, an unapologetic self-confidence that doesn't care what others think. But this perceived strength can be misleading. Underneath the tough exterior, many bad boys are deeply insecure. Their bravado is a defense mechanism, a way to protect themselves from emotional vulnerability. They may struggle with their own demons, their own fears of abandonment, rejection, or inadequacy, but because they project strength, they often seem like the ones who have it all figured out. Women who are attracted to this confidence may believe that being with the bad boy will give them a sense of security, that they will be able to share in his strength. However, this strength is often just an illusion. The bad boy may appear confident, but his lack of emotional depth, or his inability to form meaningful, vulnerable connections, can make him emotionally unavailable in the long run. In many ways, the bad boy is a reflection of the woman's own emotional landscape. He embodies qualities: confidence, independence, strength, that she may feel she lacks, and being with him feels like a way to gain access to those qualities. Yet the longer she stays in this relationship, the more she realizes that these qualities are only skin deep. The emotional connection she craves is absent. She may feel like she's always chasing something that she can never fully grasp, but the emotional bond she has with him, no matter how dysfunctional, keeps her attached. Furthermore, the bad boy often knows exactly how to manipulate emotion. He may shower the woman with affection during moments of tension, creating a false sense of intimacy. This can be intoxicating, making the woman feel loved and special, even though the affection is fleeting. These moments of closeness make it harder to let go because the woman clings to the hope that these moments could become more frequent, that the bad boy could one day give her the consistent love she craved. But the truth is, the inconsistency of these emotional highs and lows creates a dangerous dynamic, one where the woman is constantly chasing after something she can never fully attain. The tension, the power struggles, the highs and lows, they all feed into the same cycle. The woman finds herself running back to the bad boy because on some level, she believes that the emotional chaos is better than emotional emptiness. The bad boy, with all his flaws, offers a kind of love, a kind of excitement, even if it comes with pain. And so the woman returns, hoping that this time, things will be different. But the painful truth is that until she addresses the underlying reasons for why she's drawn to these relationships, the cycle will continue until she heals her own emotional wounds and learns to value herself for who she is, not for what she can fix in others. She will remain stuck in this loop. Breaking free requires self-awareness, self-love, and the courage to walk away from the fantasy that love can change someone else. It's crucial to recognize that breaking free from this cycle requires a significant shift in how women view themselves in their relationship. Many women who find themselves repeatedly drawn to bad boys need to first acknowledge the patterns in their behavior and understand why they continue to return to these toxic dynamics. It is not enough to simply tell someone to move on or let go. Healing from such relationships requires self-reflection, emotional growth, and above all,
a deep commitment to personal well-being. One of the first steps in breaking this cycle is understanding the root of the attraction. Women who are drawn to bad boys often do so because of the unresolved emotional issues they carry from their past, whether it's childhood trauma, past heartbreaks, or feelings of inadequacy. These unresolved emotions manifest in their adult relationship. The bad boy represents an emotional challenge, a puzzle that, if solved, will validate their worth and provide the emotional fulfillment they crave. But until the woman addresses her own emotional needs and learns to love herself fully, she will continue to seek validation from others who are unable to provide it. This journey of self-discovery and healing requires looking inward and confronting painful truth. It may mean acknowledging that the woman has spent too much time seeking love and validation from someone who was never capable of providing it. It means recognizing that true love cannot be built on the foundation of chaos and unpredictability. It requires the woman to redefine what love should look like: healthy, stable, and built on mutual respect, trust, and emotional connection. An essential part of this healing process is developing a sense of self-worth that is not tied to the validation of a man. For many women in these toxic relationships, their self-esteem is closely tied to the affection and attention they receive from the bad boy. When this affection is intermittent, it creates an emotional vacuum, where the woman feels both loved and neglected, both wanted and abandoned. This leaves her emotionally unstable, constantly seeking affirmation. The journey to breaking free involves learning that one's worth is inherent and not dependent on someone else's approval. This self-worth isn't something that can be built overnight. It takes time and effort to untangle the emotional knots that come with toxic relationships. It may involve seeking therapy, journaling to reflect on past relationships, or engaging in self-care practices that prioritize mental and emotional health. But the most important step is to recognize that breaking free from the bad boy isn't just about leaving the relationship. It's about leaving behind the emotional baggage that kept you there in the first place. Another key aspect of healing is learning to set healthy boundaries. Women who continuously run back to bad boys often struggle with boundary setting. They may believe that love means sacrificing their own needs for the sake of the other person. They might feel guilty for standing up for themselves, or fear that if they assert their needs, the relationship will end. However, in any healthy relationship, boundaries are necessary for mutual respect and emotional security. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being rigid or cold. It means understanding your own limits and respecting both your own emotional needs and those of your partner. In a relationship with a bad boy, boundaries are often blurred, with the woman giving more of herself than she receives. By setting and enforcing boundaries, a woman can learn to protect her emotional well-being and reclaim her sense of self. It's also important to acknowledge that moving on from a bad boy doesn't mean being alone forever. There's often a deep fear of loneliness that drives women to stay in these toxic relationships. The idea of being alone, of not finding someone else who understands them, can feel unbearable. But the truth is, loneliness is not the same as being alone. Loneliness stems from emotional isolation, from not feeling connected or valued. Being alone, however, can be empowering. It's an opportunity to rediscover oneself, to reconnect with passions, hobbies, and interests that may have been neglected. It's a time to focus on personal growth, to build self-esteem, and to prepare for a future where love is not defined by chaos or emotional pain. It's crucial to understand that real love, the kind of love that is fulfilling and nurturing, is not about being needed by someone else. It's about being valued for who you are. Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect, trust, and care. They involve two people who support each other's growth, who communicate openly and honestly, and who value each other's emotional well-being. This kind of relationship can only be built when both individuals are emotionally whole and capable of loving themselves. Breaking the cycle of running back to bad boys requires patience, commitment, and a willingness to face the truth. It involves recognizing the patterns, understanding the emotional needs that drive those patterns, and learning to meet those needs in healthier ways. The journey may be difficult, but it's worth it, because once a woman is able to let go of the bad boy, to stop running back to the emotional chaos and pain, she opens herself up to a new kind of love, one that is healthy, secure, and fulfilling. The final piece of the puzzle is understanding that healing is not linear. It's not a process that happens overnight. There may be setbacks, moments of doubt, and emotional lows, but each step forward is progress. Each time a woman chooses herself over the bad boy, she's taking another step toward emotional freedom and self-love. It's not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about learning from the past and moving forward with a deeper understanding of oneself. Ultimately, women who run back to bad boys need to realize that they deserve better. They deserve a love that is kind, consistent, and built on a foundation of mutual respect and trust. They deserve a partner who is emotionally available, who values them for who they are and who is willing to invest in the relationship. They deserve to be loved in a way that makes them feel whole, not broke, and that begins with the journey of self-love, healing and breaking free from toxic patterns.